Hi, everybody. It's Sunday, and you may have seen on your phone that heat advisories have been issued for much of Western Oregon and Southwest Washington for not today, but coming up on July 4th and also on Wednesday. I'm going to show you that map in a moment. In the meantime, all of a sudden, what a run of just gorgeous sunny weather, right? The coast basically didn't see hardly any cloudiness that I'm aware of yesterday, and it's clear over Tillamook Head from the Gerhardt by the Sea resort camera this morning. There's Hood River, Indian Creek Golf Course, downtown Portland, all just beautiful, beautiful weather. Before I get into the heat, I do want to take a second because some of you are probably interested in this. The June Climate Summary Report. This is site-specific National Weather Service reports for PDX. One thing, June gloom, often we get those mornings of low clouds. And when I did my summer projections, I thought we might see that this June. We did not. We had 25 days of partly to mostly sunny skies, which is a lot for the month of June. The average high, in part due to that little run of hot weather we had to finish up, 78.1. That turned out to be nearly 4 degrees above normal and actually is the 5th warmest June high temperature for PDX on record going back to the 1940s. The average low is pretty close to normal, 54.8. That was just over half of a degree above normal. You average these out, you get the mean temperature. This is the figure that we really look at in terms of climatology. 66.5, that was over 2 degrees above normal, which quite frankly isn't anything to write home about, but it did tie for the 4th warmest June. There's a whole bunch of Junes at the 66.5 mean temperature. But typically you don't start sniffing, top 5 categories unless you're at least 3 full degrees departure. That was only 2.3. So that kind of tells you that historically, June hasn't seen a lot of variance, which is kind of interesting. Of course, we had the big variance back in June of 2021, right? Total rainfall, in part because of a pretty good thunderstorm that formed right over the weather station at PDX, 1.21 inches. That wasn't bad. It was below normal by 42 100ths of an inch, but again, we could have been far worse, so that's not bad. All right, let's talk about the hot weather, shall we? Here's the heat advisory map from our friends at the National Weather Service. This is for Tuesday and Wednesday, everything coded in orange. Now take a close look at this and notice this does not include the immediate beach areas where it looks like a westerly wind flow will continue, and that's going to fight off the hot weather and keep the beaches much more comfortable. Also, at least for the time being, this does not include the Cascades, does not include really out into the gorge. Now, this could change. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow we see heat advisories issued for Tuesday, Wednesday, or at least Wednesday, Thursday for the gorge area itself. So we'll keep an eye on all of that. But for now, that's the map. And of course, we started to talk about this last week, the fact that we had 3 weeks of really hot weather in Texas, and that air mass was going to start moderating somewhat, but shifting off to the west. Tomorrow will be the first day where this hotter air that really originated down in that Texas heat dome will start to move in, and our temperatures will go up. We may or may not make it to 90 tomorrow, but tomorrow we'll start to see the temperatures move back upwards. Another map that I showed you last week. Hot weather track for July 4th. Now again, notice the oranges are now firmly up into Oregon. The yellow, this is the outer periphery of this air mass, working all the way up through Oregon. So it still looks absolutely likely that we will see 90-degree temperatures on Tuesday, July 4th. Now, here's the latest on Wednesday. Growing confidence today that we'll have 2 pretty sizzling days, Tuesday and Wednesday, with Wednesday being the hottest. So where you see, this is the European model, where you see that kind of whitish tones I've outlined in white. This is the hot core of this air mass moving in. A couple of things that I want you to notice. Notice number 1, this is Wednesday, potentially the hottest day. The actual core of the air mass at 5,000 feet, which is what we look at to define these air masses, basically stops at the Cascades. It does not continue to filtrate over into the Willamette Valley, and certainly does not go to the coast. Now, what does that mean? Remember, there is not a heat advisory for the beach. Cool west winds to blow towards hot air. So if this air mass, the hottest of it, works into the Cascades and then halts, that will keep and in fact ignite a cool westerly flow coming in off the Pacific waters. That's why the beaches may be surprisingly cool, 60s and 70s at most. And it's why the Willamette Valley, how hot we get or will not get, is somewhat in question. So that's really interesting to me. All right, these are actual surface temperature projections from the two models. Now, again, I showed you this last week. I've just updated them. So from the morning run of the European model, this is Wednesday, the day we're really focusing on because it's going to be the hotter of the 2 days, it looks like. Wednesday, 99 in Portland, 97 down in, that would be around the Salem area, Eugene, 100 degrees out in Pendleton. And then if I get out of the way, you can see the GFS model. It doesn't go as warm for Portland, 95, but it goes 101 once you get out into Pendleton. Again, the hottest air looks like it sets up to me across the Columbia Basin and then other parts of Eastern Oregon. I'm a little surprised that these other forecast projection numbers in Eastern Oregon especially aren't warmer. And I kind of expect them to be adjusted to be. But look at the cooler water or temperatures when you get out off of the Pacific waters. So these are numbers from the National Weather Service from their website that they're currently projecting. Let's start with the coast. This is today, 67, and goes through Saturday. So Monday, 64, July 4th, low 70s. This is Astoria, low 70s, Newport 68. And then the hottest day inland Wednesday, 60s in Astoria, 60s in Newport. And then we stay 60s for the most part on Thursday and Friday, although Newport could be a little bit cooler. So again, that is evidence that the west wind flow really ignites, okay? And what's it blowing towards? Well, here's the Dows. 91 today, 93 tomorrow, 96 Tuesday, 99 on Wednesday, 98 on Thursday. Did I do that right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 99, Thursday, 98. Two hottest days, according to this, in the Dows out in Wasco County would be Wednesday and Thursday. And I really will be surprised if you folks in the Dows don't get up to 100 degrees. So overall, I think some of these temperatures are not warm enough. Let's show you one more. These, hold on. Thought I had one more map here. Yeah, here's Portland, Salem, and Eugene. National Weather Service numbers. They go 88 Monday for Portland, 95 Tuesday, 98 Wednesday, 89 Thursday. Again, National Weather Service numbers. Monday, 90 for Salem, 98 July 4th, 98 Wednesday, cooling down on Thursday. Eugene, overall not quite as warm. In fact, Monday, 99, Tuesday, 97, Wednesday, 93. Now, to me, these temperatures are a little too warm. Remember, they are not warm enough. Pardon me, not warm enough. Remember that air mass map that I showed you? So at 5,000 feet, if you put the formula together that we forecasters use, especially on Wednesday, you would come out with a temperature potential as high as 102. I'll be surprised if we're not 95, 96 on Wednesday. It could be in parts of the Willamette Valley that warm. But as let me go ahead and get you my 7-day. Often when Portland hits 100 degrees, we have a really solid east wind flow. We had that in June of 2021. And we also have what we call a thermal trough, which is kind of the center point of some of the hottest surface air building right up the Willamette Valley. And by nature, that actually helps develop an east wind flow. And when that thermal trough sits up right over the valley or the coast range or the coast, it typically will hold off the Pacific cooling. But this time we don't have that. We have a bit of an east to northeast wind flow on Tuesday into Wednesday, but not overly strong. We have no thermal trough. All of that opens the door for the cooling west wind to come, which makes the temperature forecast difficult and at least opens the door for us not to get as hot as we think we're going to, because maybe we're warming and it's 85 degrees, let's say, July 4th and on Wednesday at noon. And then we're up into the low 90s just like that at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But then all of a sudden we reach that point where the west winds go, no, 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 and those west winds will start rushing in, and all of a sudden the temperature will stifle as early as 2 in the afternoon and not get out of the mid-90s. I'm just saying that could happen. So with that said, here's my best guess. 86 today, beautiful Sunday. Tomorrow we may or may not just get up to 90. I've had 97 forever on July 4th, so I'm going to keep that for now. The weather models, the blended model that the Weather Service really relies on, which is turning out to be a really great new weather model, shows 96 on Wednesday. So we'll see, at least 95. And then Wednesday, 99. The question here is, will we hit 100 degrees? The potential is there to get 102, but the west winds could ignite early afternoon and hold us down. So Either one of these days may get stuck in the mid 90s. Thursday, we're certainly out of the hottest of the weather, 93. And then Friday, Saturday, now I've got us back down into the 80s. At any rate, as I leave you, a reminder that the National Weather Service has put that heat advisory out for Western Oregon and Clark County for Tuesday and Wednesday, days that you'll want to have a hat, sunscreen, hydrate. And if the heat bothers you, certainly think about doing things earlier in the morning outdoors if you can. All right, I'll update you probably again tomorrow as we get closer to the heat advisory beginning on Tuesday.